Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this unboxing. Well, I've cut the box, but this unboxing and first impressions walkthrough of the Star Seeker Tarot by the Van Mystic. Her name is Nikki. I'm real excited. I was gonna just take the deck out, but I felt like I needed to share the noodles with you guys. Also, I have a cup of coffee because it has been one of those tired kind of days. So, look! I love paper noodles. I don't know why they make me so happy, but they do. So we're just gonna, like, you know, sprinkle them around. It's fine. They'll just add to the decor. So we have, thank you for supporting the Star Seeker Tarot. May it inspire you to dream, guide you into truth, awaken your magic. With love, Nikki. And Nikki is the Van Mystic. Oh no, yeah, I think she's the Van Mystic on Instagram, but also starseekertarot.com. Now this is a Kickstarter deck, and at the time I'm filming this, I don't know if they have released, or if Nikki has released any decks for sale on her website or on Etsy or anything like that, but keep an eye out. I will have all the relevant links in the description box down below. So let's get into it. I did not, uh-oh. I knocked my camera, guys. We're just gonna fix it. I'm gonna try to be less clumsy and boop. I really love this crinkle. It's like an alternative to bubble wrap. It's like accordion paper. It's really, really lovely. It's easy to store and reuse, so I really appreciate that. Ooh, and there's extra things. Okay, so I'm gonna set this paper aside. It's really good for, like, look at it. It's such a smart way to do, like, poofy, like, space filler kind of packaging. I love this stuff. Set those things aside and the extra paper aside. So one of the stretch goals was this sweet little bookmark. If I recall correctly, this was a stretch goal. It could be, might not have been, but this is so sweet. I love this. Oh, I really went ham with leaving the noodles out. Okay, well, let's just move a few of them. Then I can put things like this over here. Oh, look how cute. I love the little tassel on it. And then here is a sticker of the star card. I love this. This feels like one of those vinyl stickers, which is really exciting because these things will stick to lots of stuff. So that's exciting. You can even put them on like candles, things like that. So I will set that aside and put it with my little stash of stickers. Set that there. The Star Seeker Tarot. So this was, I would say, the Kickstarter last year that I was the most excited to back. I believe I backed, I'm just thinking, there was the two standouts that I can't remember if I backed This Might Hurt Tarot in 2018 or 2019. It must have been 2019. This one was at the latter half of the year, and it just, I saw like 2 or 3 sample cards and I was completely sold on it. I do have a sharp object. Let's get the plastic off the box so that I can show you more stuff. I could not wait. Literally, this came in the mail today. I'm in Canada, so things come here a little bit slower than everywhere else. Ooh, the box is like rose petal finish. That's very exciting. Things get here a little bit slower than to the States, but I am super cool with that because I really want to free my amethyst now. There we go. That's better. The Star Seeker Tarot. I don't know if there's going to be more plastic inside. This is a clamshell style box. Oh, this feels really lovely. Oh, okay. I'm all about it. And let's see, no more plastic. Yay! Oh, okay. I'm really stoked. So first of all, the guidebook has a key on it. Oh, a key on the front and the keyhole on the back. I love that. So it looks like we have fair amount of information for every card. We'll look at this some more at the end, but doesn't look like there's any color pictures or anything like that in there. For little guidebooks like that, I feel like I don't need that, and that will make the guidebook less bulky. So first of all, let's talk about the cards. They are a smooth rose petal finish, so they feel like rose petal light. They definitely have the finish, but they don't feel super clumpy. Which is really good. And they are edged in a really pretty dusty purple that matches the back, so I don't need to do anything to this deck. It comes kind of finished, and the edging is matte, and it has a slight, not texture, I don't know how to describe that. It does actually feel the way that, like, it doesn't feel slippery. It feels normal. I don't know what the word is. we're gonna zoom in. I'm really, really excited to dive into all this artwork. There have been a couple of walkthroughs that have come out on YouTube already, and I've done a really good job not peeking. And I'm really proud of myself because I've only seen whatever sample images came out during the Kickstarter. I think I saw some on social media, like on Instagram and stuff. Where do I want to put the box? Let's put it over there. But I tried really hard to not hover too much because I really wanted to be surprised. So let's zoom us in. And we'll shift the cards up. I'll have a sip of my coffee. We start with the Fool. Man, this is so great. I love the way that her wind is flying out behind her and she's stepping on these stones that are just literally floating in the air. And I get this feeling like it's almost like a sci-fi thing that popped into my head looking at this, but this idea almost like that these blocks are materializing as she steps forward. That whole idea of like walking fully into the unknown. I adore that image. Here we have our Magician, and he is fantastic. First of all, I love the eagle that is soaring in his chest. It sort of speaks to that idea of limitless potential and possibility and perhaps even perspective. But I like that he has a neutral facial expression. You get a very air sort of vibe from this card. It's very crisp. But I love this. That's the thing my eye was drawn to first, is the eagle at the chest. I love that. The High Priestess, this is one of the images I had seen before. And I love the way that she's holding her magic in her right hand like that. And it just is sparkling. And she's like moving into or toward the moon, which to me really speaks of moving into one's intuition. And doing that in a way where she is kind of in this mysterious place with this, not mysterious place, mysterious like, I want to say mood, but that's not quite the right word. She's definitely stepping into her personal mystery is maybe the way I'm trying to express that. But I love this with the sparkly cloak. Oh, so pretty. Love the Empress. I love it when the Empress seems to be like in a garden setting like this. I adore that image. Our Emperor. Oh, I like that they seem like they literally are in the same garden. They have very similar color tones, and I love that. I love that. He's definitely still got that sort of guarded posture / armor underneath his cloak. Oh, this Hierophant. This is stunning. The Lovers. These look like, surrounding them, this looks like those dandelion snowball things. And it just speaks to sort of wishes and shared dreams. We have the rainbow overhead. I love this sun and moon dichotomy that's happening. And in a way, with this rainbow here, you almost get the idea of they're in their own little bubble. They're in their own little world, which is really cool. Chariot. Interesting that she's walking as opposed to actually like driving the animals forward. Everybody's moving in the same direction. There's definitely a lot of focus coming through in that image. Oh, Strength is so pretty. Here comes Shayla letting herself in because she can tell I'm making a video. This is gorgeous. I love the way that she's sort of leaning back and kind of like playfully leaning back into the lion. I really enjoy that image. Love this Hermit. Oh, that light he's holding. Oh, how close can I get and still focus? This like sphere of light. Pardon my chip nail polish. I swear I did my nails yesterday. They're already chipped. But, oh, I love this. And I love this curved cane. I love the night sky. I love that we get the perspective that he's up high. I adore the wheel as the spider here. Shayla, you just came in. Now you want out? She's literally like a cat dog. Anyway, I'm moving this card around too much. I apologize. There is a character in the, oh, what's the book? I never even finished the series, but there's an oracle deck based on it. I am the worst at telling stories on the fly. Raven's Wand? Yes, the Raven's Wand series, or the first book is called Raven's Wand. And in that book, I don't know if it comes up in the first book or only the second book. I think it comes up in the first book. There is essentially a spider who is weaving people's fates together and their time, and is kind of receives its orders from sort of the master of time or the master of fate, and essentially this spider's job is literally to spin threads between people, to cut thread when told, etc. That's what this makes me think of when we think of fate as a web. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. And Justice. Love, love, love this image. Ooh, I love the sort of backbend feel of the Hanged One here. That's fantastic. And you get, this almost looks like those silks you'll see people doing the twirling on. I love that. You definitely get a peaceful feeling from that card. Death. I love that the universe is inside the cloak, or the idea of the sort of night sky, the starry sky. And yet the skeletal arm comes out. Yep, I like that. Temperance. Beautiful. Get my crinklies out of the way. I really messed myself up with that, but it was fun. The Devil. Ooh. So this is really interesting. You've got like just basically the hint of a devil. You see the horns, you see the eyes, you see the hands, and then there's these very thin threads coming down and controlling these two figures. The Tower. Oh, I love when the Tower is clearly seen to have been made on a bad foundation, like not on a smart foundation. When towers are shown, tower cards depict towers that have been built, castles or structures that have been built on very unstable looking foundations. That's a really cool mechanic to be able to look at as a reader and go, okay, let's look at what was built here and why it needs to come down, or why it's come down. The Star card is beautiful. This is one of my favorite images, and of course this is the same as we got on the sticker. So pretty. The Moon. I love an eerie landscape in the moon, and the idea that the light is limited. You can kind of only partly find your way. The Sun. Everything clearly visible. Judgment. Oh yes, she's very phoenixy. Sorry, my cards are clinging a little bit. She's very phoenixy with all the fires around, and she's reaching up. I love this. I'm going to just say I love this, every single card. The World. I am really excited about this because it does take a different, it takes a different spin on the card, but you still have this boundary. Because a lot of times for me, the World card is about being sort of fully embodied, fully complete, fully alive within yourself, but also having that sense of when and where with boundaries. I think it can be a really powerful part of self-actualization, and I think that really shows when we have something depicting that that ring, and the world being associated with the planet Saturn. It just all ties together. We are into, oh, the Womb. Oh, this is an extra card. Oh, that's beautiful. The Womb. Oh, that really speaks to like safety and security being held. I've never seen that concept as an extra card in the Tarot Major Arcana. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, I'm liking the way these cards feel. They feel like they're going to shuffle so nicely. Okay. We're into the Pentacles next. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. I love that we're in this same garden. This reminds me of the garden that the lovers were in. Those same kind of flowers or dandelion poofs. Definitely opportunity, wishes, the potential for wishes, I should say. The Two of Pentacles, and we have another similar sort of climbing blocks in the sky here. This is interesting. I want to take a look at this image. You really get the sense, or I really get the sense in this card, that she's creating her own future. She's sort of taken her future into her hands, and she's like doing the necessary work. She's carrying some stuff. She's taking big steps. This is interesting too, because when we're juggling things, so she's got two pentacles in her arms, and she's kind of trying to manage those. And these steps are really big that she's climbing up. And the first thing it makes me think of is like, oh, maybe she needs to take smaller steps, right? And in the Two of Pentacles, we often see someone in a little bit of struggle, in a little bit of like juggling, trying to figure things out. And this just gives, I think, some really tangible advice for what you could do differently. I love this so much. Okay, so this card, the Three of Pentacles, the first thing I think of when I see this is that everybody has something to contribute, and each part is important. Even if one person has a larger piece and one person has a smaller piece, you need all three to create the complete, cohesive finished product. And this depicts teamwork in a really, really cool way that I think is very validating, particularly when people are dealing with things like imposter syndrome or wondering if what they have to offer really counts or really matters. And here you see that even the smallest piece is so important. It's such a cool visual depiction of this card. I love this a lot. Okay, this might be one of my long walkthroughs. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how I do, because I'm kind of progressing slowly. And drinking my coffee. The Four of Pentacles. Okay. I like when an artist and deck creator take a neutral approach to this card, because we often see it as like miserly energy, but to me, fours are stability, they're structure, they're an opportunity to like really notice what you have, and maybe you're feeling like a need to kind of buckle down and hold on to what you have and really be content with what you have. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're being miserly. It could mean that you're like not allowing yourself to accept more, to be open to more, or fear of losing or fear of lack. But here we see somebody who has four and is good with four and seems very content and peaceful. And I like that I could take this as a reader in whatever direction I need to, based on what my intuition says and the surrounding cards and the question. I love that. I'm also really liking that we're seeing a very like broad representation of different skin tones. The only thing it's hard to tell in a deck like this is age, because we have these kind of almost, they're not faceless figures, but they are like sort of less descript facial features, and so it's a little harder to sense age. So far, we'll see how it all pans out. So here we have our Five of Pentacles, and this really speaks to that feeling of sort of isolation and loneliness that we often see in the Five. And yet all of these pentacles are available there. That's pretty. Oops. And the Six. Interesting here that every hand is apparently receiving, but I get this feeling like the universe is providing here, which is an interesting take on this card, as opposed to necessarily having to lean into, this doesn't feel like charity, if that is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Oh. This is cool. Okay, so for me, the Seven of Pentacles is very much an energy of knowing what you've kind of taking a moment to like recognize that you've done the work, and now you have to figure out what is the result of that work. How is this going to pay off, either in an investment, in a project, anything that you've put energy and time into. You're kind of at that point where you've already done a lot of the things that are going to impact how it's going to turn out. Now you're in the process of sort of pulling in that harvest, recognizing what it is that you're going to take. And here we have somebody pulling in this energy from these Seven Pentacles, right? And like each one, you can tell like it's giving what it can give. Anyway, in my head it's super clear, and I don't know if I'm being very articulate with what I'm trying to say, but this does depict that pulling in from what you've planted energy to me. Here we have our sort of master craftsman in the Eight of Pentacles. And I love engraving and sort of fine-tuning and this kind of detail-looking work in this card. Like as a general rule in my Eight of Pentacles, this really works for me. Love the Nine of Pentacles with her falcon. I love the elegance here in her gown. The Ten of Pentacles. Really enjoy this image. I enjoy this a lot. We have family here, right? We have a youth, we have two, possibly, it almost looks to me like a single mother with a teen and a younger daughter. And I think that's really cool, because we don't often see this idea of sort of a matrilineage, or I don't think I've ever seen a single parent type depiction in the traditional sort of family cards. I have seen different types of families, but this is cool, and I like this, and I'm sure there are lots of people who are going to feel really seen by this card. I love that. The Page of Pentacles. Yes, studying, books open, piled all around. I love that. The Knight of Pentacles. Willing to take the long journey. I think that's a very apt depiction of the Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles has her book. She's enjoying, she's sort of in her senses, you can tell, just really enjoying the moment. Got a little bunny sort of representation down here, little butterflies, love that. The King of Pentacles, he seems real young. I don't know how I feel about that. I like that all of the court, I believe, except for the Knight, he or she might have a a book under the arm. But so far there's like that book tie-in between the court. There's a book there, there's a book there. I love that this one seems more based on like, yeah, I don't know how to say what I'm thinking. Oh, swords. Ace of Sword is so pretty. I said Ace of Sword, but I meant Ace of Swords. That's gorgeous. Very icy feeling card. I like it. This is interesting, and this is a very conscious departure from traditional, because we're typically seeing in the Two of Swords the swords crossed in front of the heart, and there's a more guarded sense to the decision making that's happening, like kind of tuning out sometimes from the heart, tuning into the mind, still blindfolded, still with some water behind this primary figure. But it's interesting that their arms are wide open like this, and they're almost embracing trust and vulnerability in this decision as well. Interesting body language. Three of Swords. Oh, with this, the tears. And here the swords, instead of piercing a heart, are piercing a sort of galaxy symbol in the center. Very nice. The wind chimes with the Four of Swords and a little rainbow in the background. The Five of Swords. Pretty traditional here, I would say. I don't see anything that's really like standing out to me. The Six of Swords. I love this. Heading long path forward. You can see that there's light from behind them because they're casting this very long shadow towards this door in the distance. And they have to almost pass through or pass by these six swords. It's almost like you'll need to reflect on your experiences as you move forward. Kind of reminds me of that walk that in reality TV, where I think it started with Survivor, the last couple contestants would have to walk. They'd do this like kind of reminisce episode where they're thinking about how they got where they got. And I've seen similar things in other reality television shows. That's just the first one that came to mind. That's what that reminds me of, kind of like reflecting as you move forward, so you don't like forget the lessons you've learned along the way. Seven of Swords. Hiding away with the pilfered or collected swords. The Eight. Oh, this is almost better than a traditional Eight in a way, because here she's trapped, but one sword, somebody has helped, and you almost get this cloud hand feeling from this, as if there's this spiritual or there's this help available. She just literally has to accept what's being offered. Focus on this one sword, not all this other stuff, and she'll find her way out. Anxiety of the Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is a lot. There's the bear behind, all these swords pointed at her, this like snake wrapped around her arm. Ten of Swords. Oh, what's happening? This is really interesting. These are like all like, especially right here, it's like figures and almost like ghosts. You get this feeling of like ghosts. We have the skull here, and this just feels like so much weighing on this person. And then the Page of Swords. Love this one. I love this expression on the Knight of Swords face. Like, you talking to me? I definitely see that there. The Queen of Swords has this like sword pointed down right in front of her. Love that. And then we have the King of Swords. Super meditate-y. I like that. Ace of Wands. Pretty. Two of Wands. I love this sort of looking out the window energy. You get that sort of restless feeling. Three of Wands. Embarking on the journey. The Four of Wands. Pausing to notice how they've got there. Five of Wands. This is interesting. She's like competing with herself. there's nobody there to have conflict with. So this is like a, this feels a little bit self-sabotagey in the energy. The Six of Wands. Cool. Seven of Wands. But she's got 2 and there's a 5 against her. That's a little interesting. Usually you see somebody standing here and they've got 1 wand and there's 6 against them. I like that. Love this Eight of Wands. This was one of the images I saw in the campaign or sometime before the deck was finished. And it's like her heart is bursting. It's bursting out, or she's receiving images into her heart. Either way, I love the way that that's depicted, and you can kind of, there's jumping off room as the reader. Nine of Wands. Ugh, so tired. So tired. And the Ten of Wands. Managing. Definitely managing. The Page. Ready for adventure. Love it. Ooh, I love this Knight of Wands. Just diving in. There's a lot of like sort of, I feel like spiritual growth type messages in this deck, which is really cool. The Queen of Wands. Love that she's still got her cat. The King of Wands. Love that he also has a cat. He seems more approachable than some of the King of Wands that I've seen in other decks. I like that. Oh, it's my favorite suit. Okay. Ace of Wands. Excuse me, I said wands. Ace of Cups. I'm like, it's my favorite suit, and then I called it a wand. That's what I get. I like that the birds are here, like, and they look like they're like kind of flying all around the cup and like almost like attracted to its light. I love that there's an eye sort of in the center of the cup too. Okay, now we're on track. Two of Cups. I love that their cups are creating that sort of bubble around them. Three of Cups. Yes. Four of Cups. Yes, this is a very traditional deck, but with its own artistic take. Really enjoy this Six of Cups. This almost reminds me of this same couple, or any couple, I guess. You could say even the couple. It wouldn't be necessarily the same couple, but the couple from The Lovers, or just any couple, sort of reminiscing on like those moments of simplicity, right, in their life. Seven of Cups. Trying to hone in on the right decision to make. Also, there's something here to be said about how the unattainable seems more appealing, because this is the furthest cup away from her. All the ones closer seem to have some sort of like, they seem less appealing, and the one furthest away shines the brightest. The Eight of Cups. Yep, heading out the door. This card was like the, I'm getting this deck. Like, oh man, this is like, in so many ways, is like my perfect fulfillment image. Bathing in a pool at the base of what appears to be a willow tree. It's so idyllic to me. And the Ten of Cups. Love that. The Page. Love that the Page is looking out into the ocean. I love that. And there's actually a figure off in the distance, almost like waving at the Page. I love that. The Knight of Cups. Oh, these, I think these are they all mermaids? I just realized. No, this one has legs, but it's almost like this Page has legs, but it's almost like this is a mermaid out here, which is interesting. And here we have, again, you can see the shadow of legs under the water and a little tail, like maybe a little mermaid tail off in the distance. And then here we have the Queen of Cups. I love this image as well. And our King of Cups, who is like super on top of the water here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna zoom this back out so I can shuffle. All right, love this. Yay, it shuffles beautifully. It doesn't like feel sticky like most, a lot of times as much as I love the rose petal finish, it often is kind of clumpy. This clumps a little bit when you're kind of flipping through the images, but shuffling it mixes really nicely and you don't have to fight to get them back in a pile. Love, love, love. Let's take a look. And we have the Lovers. So pretty. Let's read one of the messages from the guidebook and see what we think. So, the Lovers. All right, I'll just hold the card up. Two lovers sit side by side on a clear day in a floral oasis. A rainbow shines above them, indicating a harmonious and blessed union. In this sacred paradise, the sun and moon both shine, representing balance between the masculine and feminine energies that the lovers represent. Everything is as it should be. This card can indicate a balanced and loving relationship between two partners, potentially even a deep soul connection. While the Lovers often indicates a blessed romance, it can also speak to a multitude of important partnerships. If relationships and partnerships are not related to your reading, consider this a card of alignment and harmony. If you're trying to make a decision, this is an affirmation. This can also speak to the need to find balance within yourself and your own life. Perhaps an aspect of your life has fallen out of balance. The Lovers encourages you to realign and find your center again. Keywords are partnerships, relationships, harmony, alignment, love, and soulmates. Reversed, disharmony, imbalance, and toxic relationships. Beautiful. Okay, let's lastly just take a quick look at the guidebook. So we have the Starseeker Tarot Guidebook and a little bit about the deck, how to use the deck, some spreads, a bunch of spreads, that's fun, 4 of them. And then we get right into Major Arcana, and they're all structured the same way where you get like a description of what you're seeing visually and then your message and then keywords and reverse keywords. Let's see if it stays the same. In the minors, it appears to. Yes, it describes the card, gives you a message, and then gives you upright and reverse keywords. I don't know if there's anything different in the end. Yeah, there's a couple things. So let's see. We have, after the King of Cups, we have tarot exercises and meditations. Here are a few fun exercises to help you in deepening your relationship with the tarot. Please use the following exercises as guidelines. And if something does not resonate with your practice, that's okay. Enjoy, Seeker. There's a meditation for connecting and grounding before a reading, asking for guidance, a tarot story exercise, an intuitive exercise, journey into the tarot cards. This looks like path working potentially. And a little bit about the creator. Nikki is a tarot reader, teacher, and a designer of lovely things, also a daydreamer, adventure seeker, and life lover. She's based in Northern California, surrounded by majestic redwood trees, ocean, and lots of sunshine. You can find Nikki doing tarot things at www.thevanmystic.com. And that, my friends, is the Starseeker Tarot. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It is so beautiful. It's been beautifully produced. Cards are absolutely stunning. I love this style of imagery. It feels, oh, and they still fan nice. A lot of times those rose petal finishes just don't want to fan. That's a really lovely fan for rose petal for sure. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This one is one I'm really excited to work with. I don't know when this video is going to go up. Probably right away because I am impatient. But watch for my weekly deck review to sort of hear how the deck read for me, what my experiences working with it were. But until then, thank you so, so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening wherever you might be. And I will see you later. Bye!